you like to think about business, you want to think about tech, you want to think about startups, this, my friend, is the place for you.
I'm not gonna say anything more because if I do, we are gonna get banned in one video. So yeah.
I promise I will take this system down one day. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, not in the 5 years, not in 10 years, but someday I will take this system down. It's the first episode and I'm making a promise.
I'm saying this as someone who would take an IIT at this moment, but it is not my identity. Hello and welcome to our podcast, Ranks and to Riches. So this is episode number 1 and I am Sarthak, this is Trambikesh and we are here to present our podcast. So bhai, how is it going?
Perfectly fine, perfectly balanced, feeling terrific, feeling great to be alive because we are chatting with you.
Yeah.
So, first of all, let me introduce...
Yeah, feeling great to be alive. yeah.
Let me introduce the...
Literally
guy.
feeling very great to be alive, honestly.
Who?
I am feeling very great to be alive, you know. So happy I'm alive.
Same here. Every day you get to conquer.
Trouble understanding sarcasm, I feel. But it's okay. I'll teach you on it.
We'll move. Okay, so let me introduce the guy who started this idea and who is the main man, the brain behind this podcast. I'll introduce him with an intro from one of my favorite songs. Just give me a moment, guys.
One eternity later.
चुप रहना जब तक बोलूं नहीं. It gives me a great deal of pleasure to introduce to you a man who needs no introduction. A man who on every occasion has given the best that he had. I give you Sarthak Singh, All India rank number 3 in class 10 ISC board exams, a future triple IT Hyderabad alumni with an All India rank of
हाँ भाई ये पहले कर दो
5390 in JEE Advanced, right?
ये कर लो पहले तुम हाँ जी एडवांस
चलो
बट ये जरूरी नहीं था भाई खैर now I introduce to you this guy, the man, the myth, the legend, the core of this podcast, the man who will give you the most value, whether he accepts it or not, I know, and the man who has done it all. I give you Trambikesh Dwivedi, All India rank 66, VITEE Triple E, and of course, my school, our school, ISC topper. You know how much he got? 98.75. People dream of it. He got it effortlessly. So I think that speaks volumes on him. Volumes.
Yeah, says the guy who got 99.4 in class 10. Okay.
That was, you know, okay. But anyways, now we roll. So the first thing. What is this podcast about? I would like Trambikesh to say this first because, you know, that is a great question, honestly. And, you know, you are the guy that should say this because, you know, you are the best at these things.
Okay, thank you. What is this podcast about? Great question. Glad you asked it. This podcast is exactly what is the name of this podcast. Ranks to Riches. We both have got ranks, but we are yet to make riches. So this podcast will cover our journey from ranks to riches. We will not stop this podcast until we each become millionaires. I know that sounds like a far-fetched dream, but it is going to be true. I don't know when, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, whatever time it may take, but we will keep rolling. And this isn't going to be a challenge, a time-bound challenge. This is not going to be that. We want to keep it natural. We'll keep sharing the things that we'll learn along our way, cracking a few dank jokes in the between, sharing a few dark humor, and a few of the greatest stories that you will ever hear from your ears. That is what this podcast is all about. If you have been feeling like you are a guy with very specific interests, you like to improve yourself, you like to think about business, you want to think about tech, you want to think about startups, this, my friend, is the place for you. We welcome you to Ranks to Riches.
I think you summed it pretty well, And honestly, I think we are both are gonna make it, and this is gonna be a great journey. I just feel this is gonna be a great journey, and yeah, people are gonna love this. This is so good. And as you said, if somebody likes business, tech, just join in. You're just gonna love it. And of course, we crack dank jokes. Let's say every 69 seconds or so. So yeah, just understand how much it's gonna pain you as well. So yeah, every good thing pains a little bit. So yeah, I think you understand.
You know.
Now another question that I have: Why? Why exactly are we doing this?
Sarthak, you go first.
If I tell about myself, yeah. So if I tell about myself, the reason foremost being, this will give me and both of us, I feel, a little bit of accountability as well. When you are presenting something, when you are presenting your journey, you are much more likely to make it. You are much more likely to, stick to your goals because you have to show as well. Everybody wants that. Okay, so now I have to show I will do this, and it will just build a lot of accountability. And the second reason, personally for me, is I want to put myself out there, do something with my time, do something good, and, just be out there. Maybe some opportunity will come, maybe I'll do something. And I think this is one of the greatest ways. With one of my best friends, it's gonna be a vibe and it's gonna be so much. I think from my perspective, we will be learning from each other. And he'll be learning some things from me, I suppose. And I surely will be learning a lot from him. So, this podcast for me is a learning experience, is an experience to put myself out there and, just do something good finally. And, Trambikesh, what about you?
So, apart from the fact that this MF has been putting his finger in my ass since I don't know how long, that bro, I want to do something, I want to do something, I want to do something. And you know what the best part is? This MF is a polymath. He's very great at many different things. So I just can't suggest him one thing to do. And that is a problem which this podcast would most likely solve for him, because he would have one thing to look forward every week. He'll be managing the entire podcast, the social medias, the shorts and all of that stuff. Now, for me personally, and that of course will give me a great relief, because this guy has helped me a lot, and it's great that he also progresses. Like, we both progress as general, as we both progress as a unit, yeah. Now, for myself, being on self-improvement, quote self-improvement, for about 2 years, I have been learning a lot of stuff. I mean, a lot of different stuff. Most of the time, those things are just in my head, and I forget them after 1 week, 2 weeks maybe. Sometimes I tweet them, but my tweets are like basically journal entries, which most people can't understand. And over 1,341 tweets, I have got a total of 60 followers. So you can understand how good my tweets would be. However, this podcast will allow me to articulately condense all the things that I have been learning throughout my journey, and I will keep learning.
It comes down to it, I'll see if I should keep this in or I should cut it. I'll see.
I trust your good judgment.
Yeah. It will build the authenticity, I feel, Yeah, these guys are not knowing much.
They should not be so much authentic that you're capturing all the stutters and the gaps and the fuck-ups. They should not be that authentic.
No, I think it should be that authentic, because, people feel, honestly, I'm telling you one thing. People feel it's all, picture perfect. We are here to perform something, which we are not, honestly. We are here to just vibe and, just do our stuff. So the stutters are...
To be honest, I am here to perform, kind of.
You're here to perform?
Yes. And
okay, I am not gonna say anything more. Because if I do, we are gonna get banned in one video. So yeah, let it be.
Fair enough. This is... Yeah, so this podcast is here... And you shut the fuck up, okay? Just give me 30 seconds. So this podcast is giving me a platform to condense all the information, all the things that I've learned articulately, and I will keep learning and keep sharing those things with you guys. And I'll be great. I try to become great at storytelling through this podcast, great at articulate speaking, and basically develop my camera skills, and accountability is another great factor which Sarthak had said. So that is why we are doing this.
I feel it's great because I feel honestly you are one of those people, as I have written it somewhere as well, that I always feel he has done so much. Looking at you and your achievements, not just achievements, but the things you have done. It just feels like this man has done stuff, and this man has done stuff that matters. Because
I appreciate it.
Just doing stuff is easy, but doing stuff that matters and always taking the right decisions, because many times the hard decisions are the right ones. Always continuously
most of the time.
building yourself to taking them at the correct moment. You are one of those people which I feel have always done that, or have tried to. Many times we cannot do that, but you have always tried to do this, which is that you have massive respect from my side just because of this.
You have massive respect from my side as well. The amount of sheer TNT that you have in yourself to destroy a challenge is incomprehensible. Your mindset is bulletproof, impenetrable. Like, this guy did not take 1 day off in 1 year, and I took 15 days off in 5 months. Now,
so one of our background things is I am a JEE student and he's a NEET student, which is really interesting because we both study for different things. The necessities of the examinations are different. The preparation is different, though the syllabus, except of biology, may look same, but it is completely different. So, Trembikesh, one thing I want to know is, what are some lessons that you have learned during this preparation? About yourselves, about what you have done in life, something that you have inculcated through this preparation.
The major thing that I've learned during my preparation. So first of all, to be clear, I was planning for VITEEE since day one. I've never been a NEET student, honestly, just to get that out. And I'm glad I'm not. I was not a NEET student. Otherwise, I would have like gone into the rat race once again. And I'm so grateful that I basically kind of.
Then you would have probably taken that drop, considering this year's NEET paper.
For sure. So what I was saying, that what I learned during this preparation. A few things. First of all, especially physics and organic chemistry. It's hard to admit. Organic chemistry, I used to hate organic chemistry from the bottom of my heart. So, physics and organic chemistry. These two subjects teach you how to think logically and rationally. That's, I think, an advantage which only science people have. Not the commerce one, not the humanities ones. Because, in any field of life, in any endeavor, whether it may be health, whether it may be you want to get into a relationship, or whether you want to do anything, you want to do a business, you want to do a YouTube channel, it all boils down to this concept. And I want you guys to hear very closely to what I'm about to say in the next few minutes. There are a few fundamental truths regarding the goal that you want to achieve. I'll give a few examples. For my VITEEE preparation, it was the number of mock tests you give that decides your score. That is it. That is the main outcome that you want to achieve. And a teacher called Harsh sir, he was in Vedantu, he told me that you just got to practice 10,000, 15,000 questions. I was like, done. Your goal is VITEEE, boil it down to a simple fundamental truth that I need to do questions to do it. And let's talk about if you want to build your physique. If you want to build your physique, while I'm not the best person to give advice on, but I did lose 12 kilograms, okay? So, if you want to build a physique, you need to understand the concept of calories. Nothing else would matter if you are overeating. Doesn't matter how much you push-ups, how much push-ups you do at the gym. Doesn't matter if you do like whatever asan Ramdev Baba suggests. Doesn't matter if you drink lemon tea with gomutra in it. Doesn't matter. If you don't know about the concept of calories, nothing really matters. So that is the fundamental law that you're talking about. Again, for a relationship, that Sarthak can explain better. But because he's a practical practitioner, he has been a practitioner. But I've learned from theory.
That is so not right. No, Mikey, no, that is so not right.
So, from what I have understood, that especially for men, and if you want to date a woman, from what I'm able to understand is that you got to play with her emotions. You want to make them feel as much emotions as possible. So, because they are emotional creatures, that's what I'm able to understand. Yeah, this is a field I'm pretty new to. I'm trying to learn this. So, and again, if you want to start, another example, you want to start a YouTube channel, you want to focus on average view duration and click-through rate. That is it. So the goal that you want to achieve, there are a few fundamental truths which will always stay true no matter what. Like in most cases, it will stay true. And then, regarding those truths, you want to boil down it even further, simplify into a daily action that you can take. A daily action for VITEEE could be like, let's say I solve 100 questions per day, or I give 1 mock test per day. That way I can achieve that 10-15,000 question goal and eventually crack VITEEE. And these questions should be like, I look at the question, I do it, and if it's right, it's very good. And that Sarthak has also helped me a lot in while trying to do the analysis of my questions. And he has a great, like, this is the most nerdy, he built the most nerdiest mistake tracker that you will ever see in your life. That especially I have ever seen in my life. And trust me, I spent a lot of money on mock tests and all. So that is regarding that. And if you want to lose weight, you got to go to the gym daily, and you want, like, daily or whatever the cadence may be, and you want to eat in calories or like less than your maintenance. So that's your daily action. It could be different for different goals. Yeah. So that is what I learned. And second thing that I learned was logical thinking. I looked at so many things. I started looking at so many things logically. Like most of our, I will not comment about anyone's belief. Like most of my religious beliefs have been busted because they do not align to a strong foundation of logic. Like, don't get a haircut on Saturday. Why? No one can answer that. No one is still able to answer it.
Yeah. What I was saying was.
Yeah, you were saying something, Sarthak?
You know what you talked about the religious beliefs being broken. That is one of the things that I believe is true. Though my trust in God has not, wavered anyway, but many things that I have seen being done, I have felt like, many a times the reason is fear. I have felt that the reason is fear that we do certain things. We, we should not do this. Why? Because it is said so. But, the main reason is fear.
Why is it said so?
Fear.
No one knows why is it said so.
Fear. Nobody knows. Honestly, if you ask me why is it said so, I don't know. Maybe somebody does, and I would really like to know, honestly. Why?
I haven't found the somebody till now. I'm 18 years old and I'm a Pandit. Haven't found somebody right now. Till now.
Maybe somewhere in life you will.
Anyway.
Maybe somewhere.
Hopefully. If that's the case, I would love to.
Yeah.
Anyway. What I was saying was that you start to think logically, and then the next thing is that you realize that you are capable of so much more than you thought. You're able to do so much more hard work than you initially expected yourself to do. And this was completely true. I had migraine problems in class 10, and it came back when I was preparing for VITEEE. I studied for 13 and a half hours for basically 5 months. For 90% of the days, yeah. And I took approximately 15 days off. That were when the migraine became so high. So it used to happen so much that I'm studying, migraine happens, I'm not stopping until it becomes so much that I have to stop. When that happens, I take a day off and then I move back again. So it just tells you that you're capable of so much more than you thought. So yeah, those are my 3 main things that I learned from this preparation. Sarthak, I'll let you, please. I'm really eager to know what you are.
Yeah, so very well said, first of all, because that logical thinking I feel is a very big factor of my preparation as well. The way I approach problems have now also become ways that I approach certain situations in life. If something happens, if I'm trying to do something, like I don't know whether you realize this or not. I don't usually was before this preparation. I wasn't so much methodical. Like let's take the example of this podcast. First I made a certain set of plans. We did a mock podcast. Then I posted the question on the channel, and then we started. That's the kind of a methodical way that I kind of stumbled upon, let's say, or I built through my preparation, because that is what it required, to have a plan, to do things stepwise. First you do this, you build a foundation. Like for Jay, what I always have done is you see a theory, you understand it, then you have to do something that would apply that theory. Let's say certain question practice, certain, whatever you have, certain mock tests, if you will. And then you go on to higher level questions that include a lot of concepts. So that made me someone who can apply a lot of concepts and knows when and how to apply them, and that too in life. Like when I was doing for this podcast, I threw so much noise in life, because right now, understand, it's June. We have our counseling, we have to see which college, how, which exam, how we are performing. Through so much noise in life, I was able to build a plan because of this JEE preparation. I was able to take out time, I was able to take out energy to do this because of that. And I feel if you had asked me, same situation, put me in this same situation 2 years ago, maybe I would have faltered badly. Why? Because I have no back to fall upon. How to do this? Okay, what is the method we should follow? Because in JEE, many a times you don't actually know what you are doing. Honestly, till almost the last days of your preparation, you are still like, okay, for this chapter what to do, for that chapter what to do, because the first time you encounter a chapter, each chapter has its different requirements. Some like want more formula based, like kinematics, let's say. You don't have a lot of concepts, new concepts to learn, but you have a lot of formulas. You have to get yourself used to it, using them, understanding where this formula will be used, where that formula be used, and what is the concept behind, okay, this motion, let's say projectile motion is going on. It's so much noise, and you have to understand that little concept that might help you in a question, that will come 2 years later. So that is something that I have realized. The ability to cut out noise and focus on one thing and understand that concept deeply. The second very important thing that I feel JEE Prep has given me is, when I do a question, especially in the later part of this preparation, when the syllabus is complete and you are revising, many a times I get so frustrated, so much frustration, because I see a question and I think I will be able to do it. I should have been able to do it, and I'm not able to do it. The demotivation is that you should be able to do it. The exam is so near, you should be able to do it. If you are not able to do it, someone else will, and they will get the rank. So many times, I have thrown copies, I have, banged tables because of this frustration, but always I have powered through. Okay, one more try, a little different concept, and, a little bit of something else. And that I think JEE Prep has given me. Now, he has sent something. Let me see. Yeah, Magnus Carlsen agrees. Magnus Carlsen agrees. Yeah. That is why it's hard to do this. I would make him laugh, he would make me laugh, and then we'll lose every flow. And that is how it should be. Honestly, that is how it should be.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
No. That is how
I
it
will
should
not
be.
do.
No, एक flow.
No, like I couldn't just stop, bro. You banging your
No,
table.
you should do this.
Like every time I'm thinking about banging a table, I can't think of anyone else than Magnus.
That is an iconic moment from Magnus, anyways. So yeah, as I was saying, continuing, that demotivating factor, let's say obstacle in the course, it just helped me power through it. Now, many times in life, I know that will not be able to do something. Let's say I am into coding, I won't be able to crack a certain part of code. I won't be able to crack a certain assignment I've been giving. But this preparation will help me power through that. Okay, another try. You know, as he said, I did not take any major breaks, any day off in this preparation, and that is mostly down to the drive. I always wanted to do good. You know, it's always been in me to do good, trying to do better each day. And I always felt that if I don't do anything today, I might not have the time tomorrow. And every day I try to make a schedule, a little bit of a plan, so I can work through it. And again, as I said, it helps me, this preparation, be better in life. Like today, honestly, I'll show you something. This. This is my to-do list for today. I did not used to this. I have never done this before, this preparation. But this to-do list, what I have to do today. Okay, there is this podcast, and there are things that I want to do away from this podcast. Certain inclinations of mine, and that, to manage that, to work through that, to have the energy, this preparation has given me. And I would say the third thing for me is gonna be my self-absorbing power. Like every JE student knows that we see lectures at 2x minimum. No, we do not have that much time that we could get to lectures. And I was never a fan of one shots. I always felt that they would leave something important that they might ask. I was always like, okay, maybe call it paranoia, but I always watched lectures at 2x. I made notes at 2x. 2x. The video is already faster. Normally when we speak at normal rate, it's hard in itself to make notes, and I am making notes at 2x. Now that absorbing power is key for me now, because I am able to understand things at a very fast rate, and I think every JE student is. Anybody who has got under 10,000 rank, or even who has got above 90, 95 percentile in JE mains, has this capability, because they have done the same things mostly. And this is just so important. Like, the ability to understand something faster than 90% of the people will get you so ahead in life. That is what I think. And I feel everybody should do this preparation, not just because it will get you somewhere good in life, but because you will understand so many things, how to do so many things, and how to just manage your life. That I feel this preparation has given me so much. And even though I would say it didn't end in the way I wanted it to end, I would not change a single thing about it. It was just so good. They always say, fall in love with the journey, and that has exactly what happened. Like, no matter, I knew even before my JE advanced, that no matter what result is, I get qualified, I get good rank, bad rank, I knew I would be satisfied with myself, because God, anybody who is listening, this was the best time of my life, the most productive I have ever been, and the productivity it just inculcated in me is epic, just too epic. Yeah, man.
Wow. Wow, that was a beautiful answer. I honestly learned a few things from that. Like, first one, methodical thinking. Second, learning the thought process that you have, that you would rather do things today because tomorrow you may not have time. I need to develop this so bad that I can't even tell, because like, especially after the exams have gotten over, I started procrastinating so much in my workout.
Honestly, from my side as well, I would
making
say,
videos, all of that.
I would say the same thing. But I procrastinated mostly in things like studying PCM, doing things that were not exactly two of my interest. Because, PCM, I love PCM. But, if you ask me computer or PCM, I would always prefer computers. So I was doing computers, but, that PCM thing that I still have to study for bits at, I'm not doing. I just don't want to. But the little bit of procrastination is there. I'm, wasting a little bit of time here and there. Not too much, but yeah, it's there. It's there. And I think it is in everyone's life because after 2 years of rigorous preparation, you for VIT, me for JE, this has finally happened. So finally we got some break, some semblance of a break. So a little bit of procrastination, I think, does work.
Right, I totally agree. And yeah, and the last point that, and bro, firstly, huge salute from my side to you for watching, not only watching and taking notes in 2x. Like, I can't even comprehend. So that is way more kudos to you, bro. Because Cal Newport talks about in his book Deep Work that in today's day and age where things are changing so quickly, you need to get good at complex things fast, because the things would change in 3 to 4 years.
Yeah.
And that I think you would be able to do really well, because you watch lectures at 2x and take notes. Honestly, I have never been more than 1.75x, and that too for biology from Samapti ma'am, because Samapti ma'am used to speak slow and she used to have a lot of banter, and that's why I was able to do 1.7x. And biology I used to like. For physics and chemistry, never more than 1.5x, sometimes even 1x. So yeah, kudos to you, my man.
The fastest I have been is around 3.5x. I got a code on YouTube that helped me, increase the speed to around 6x. So because now after doing that at 2x, when I was revising, 2x felt too slow. I was like, it's wasting a lot of my time. Like 1 hour ka lecture done in half an hour, and I'm like, why give half an hour to revise something? I was trying to revise through the lectures, and so what I was saying was, and I was trying to revise through the lectures. So 1 hour lecture, 2x, half an hour. So I did it at 4x, 3x, 3.5x, because I just need to listen to what was the concept. And I think this will, prove something that is very good for me in life, because, and for every JEE student, understanding complex things, subconsciously by breaking them down into smaller subparts. Every JEE student must, relate to this, because we have so less time for such a, vast syllabus, that this skill, if not developed, could ruin the preparation at times. So that is why.
Yeah, what did you say? Next one, what are some changes this preparation has brought into you? This is a good one. Yeah, this is a good one. So the major one that the major mindset shift that this preparation has brought in me is that it's after a long time I've dreamed about something big, a really hard goal, and fucking achieved it. It was like, whoa, wait, I can achieve big things. So that acts as a reminder of who I am and who I can be. Because whenever I'm, as I said, procrastinating, like just now, a few hours before this call, I was running into an error for an automation that I was using. I just shut it down and went upstairs, or went into a different room. Spent some time there, then came back, was checking at stuff. But then I realized, bro, you've cracked an exam which 2 lakh people sit for. You can do this. It's not that difficult. So yeah, that's a major change that this preparation has brought into me. What else?
I'll share something. Yeah. First of all, I completely agree. This confidence this preparation has given me as well, because 16 lakh people give JEE, and if I can be one of those people who have cracked it, even though, maybe not so good, maybe good, it is a confidence giving thing because I did it, and more so than not, it just gave me the confidence that I could do something when I put myself up to it. Like there was a time I thought I would not be able to give 16, 17 hours a day just because it was like this is so much time. I how will I study for that much time? But as J approached, as mains came by, as advanced came by, I gave those hours. I was like, I have to utilize every every waking moment that I have. I have to utilize those moments. I have to do something with that. And this is something that really got into me. It it is one of those major changes that has brought this preparation has brought in me. Like, being able to push beyond the limits. Because at times me as well, found the limit. Okay, I think 12, 13 hours is the max I could do. And for a long time, it was like that. Okay, 12 hours, 13 hours, maybe I should take a break. But it helped me push through it as the exam grew closer, and I was like, okay, I need to push more. It just gave me the energy, it just gave me the, inspiration, it just gave me the time to just do it. Focus. Again, it's 12 hours, it went on to 13, 14, 15, and at times 16 as well, just because I could. There were days where I was waking up, doing my thing, giving a mock, giving two mocks, and then, apart from that, just not giving two mocks, but also doing stuff that I needed to do. So that I think is one major change it has brought into me. It has just, pushed my boundaries to a very large extent, and I feel many people who miss out on this are at a disadvantage at times because for them their boundary is, let's say, 12 hours, but for me now my boundary is 16 hours, 17 hours, and I know and I have seen that I can do it. That is one major change.
Another thing, and this might be controversial, this is controversial.
We are here for
Another thing that
the controversial stuff, bro. We are here for the controversial stuff.
most of my beliefs are quite controversial, as you know, Sarthak.
You are a controversial man.
Anyway,
I know that. I hope you do not show this side of yours to people. You might go into some trouble at times.
no problem. Okay, I'll share this story sometimes else, but let's focus on the topic. What I was saying was, Sarthak was all in for 2 years. I was all in for 5 months. For those of you who don't know, I also started the preparation in 11th. I took PCB because maths wasn't a good friend of mine, or at least I thought so. And I had to take science because Abba nahi manenge. And then I took science, PCB, and 1 year so what I was doing, for those who don't know, I was running a side hustle. And for the first year we did make some progress. In the second year, in my 12th, we did a lot of progress. And for some reasons, in November 19th, I still remember that day, November 19th, 2024, I had to shut it all down. And then I did the preparation for 5 months. So that's why I've got that entrepreneurial mindset. Those who want to learn more on my businesses, go to Tim VITEEE LinkedIn, you'll find me. Okay, so not humble bragging here. I need to mention it because it's required, the context is required for you. Now, the thing I learned a lot was that I developed this deep, fundamentally deep, this thing will never go away from me, and I developed this deep hatred for the system, like boiling deep hatred for the system that has that, how do I explain it? if you guys have watched the movie Kalki, in that there's a scene where Captain Manas is eating an apple, and then there are all of the thousands of people standing there, and he throws that jhootha apple in front of the people, and they just start snatching it like nothing. They fight each other for it. That's the exact same case with JEE and NEET and whatever the competitive exam might be. Now, whenever someone tells me that, bro, you should become IAS, I've been hearing that a lot recently. I am not going to give another competitive exam. I'm very sure about that. I'm out, which means I'm out. I have developed such deep of a hatred for this system that wants to keep us entangled, enchained, enslaved, and just becoming rats. We think we might have escaped the rat race after cracking the exam, but we haven't escaped it. We have won it. But the thing with a rat race is that even if you win it, you are still a rat. What's the solution to it? We might discuss it in some another video, some another podcast. But yeah, that is the like I have such strong emotions for this that I might get aggressive, and I have so much things to say about, which we will discuss sometime else in another episode. But yeah, this system, which it just seems that, like, if you go to watch any teacher's lecture, any big teacher's lecture, and I was also watching JEE lectures from JEE channels and not NEET lectures, because VITEEE EEE exam is more has questions which resemble JEE questions. So they were talking about IITians as if they were gods. I mean, yeah, like just praising them, showering them praise. Bro, I get that. It's a difficult examination. These are really, really smart people. But after 4 years, they still have to grind for the rest of your life. And that is a rat race no one talks about. You want to escape the rat race in such a way that you never have to play again. How am I going to do that? I have a plan in my head which I currently won't share. I will make you wait. I probably might never share it in this podcast, but yeah, this system has, and like Sarthak is one of the hardest, is the hardest working person I have personally met. Like, no days off in 2 years, like 1 year. That is basically impossible for me. Like, at least it has been till now. I won't let it become a limiting belief, but yeah. And this guy got 5,300 rank, which means that 5,000 people are still working harder than him. And with that level of dedication, I think there are better leverage opportunities in which you put that level of dedication and you'll win more than those who put their energy into these things. So I have developed such a deep hatred for this system that I will never come back. I'll never come back to it, and I promise I will take this system down one day. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, not in the 5 years, not in 10 years, but someday I will take this system down. It's the first episode and I'm making a promise. That's it from my side.
I mean, I think you spoke beautifully, honestly. Because while I do not share that deep hatred, but yeah, I know. Like, I did so much, as you said, and for you managed to do it. For me, I was not able to. And I know many people do work hard. No, I know all of the JEE aspirants, they work really, really hard. But yeah, many a times at the end of their life, they do face this. That why did we, put so much effort into it, and maybe 60%, 70% of the people do get it back. I mean, 30% who don't. I mean, I agree with the IITians because they are really smart. But again, I feel being an IITian, if that is your identity, then that is really weird. Because I am much more than the college I attend. I am much more than what I study. I am much more than what I achieve. I am a human being, and with so many different, setups, with so many different sides. Just being an IITian to be my identity, I think that's not something. And I'm saying this as someone who really wanted to go to an IIT. I'm saying this as someone who would take an IIT at this moment, but it is not my identity. It is really not my identity, and it would never become my identity. Anyways, coming back to the
Beautiful,
question.
beautiful. I want you to clip this. This should get clipped.
Okay, I'll try. I'll do this. No.
So,
Yeah.
Sarthak, you said that you were not able to. Bro, you're not able to is greater than 99% of the people's like what they can even comprehend what is possible. It's greater than that. You're not able to is greater than what other most 99% of the people can even comprehend.
You know,
And still
one.
you're not getting CS in
Yeah,
IIT
yeah, yeah.
Bombay.
But one thing that I will definitely share, that the performance that I did in JEE Advanced was the worst I have done in any mock. And honestly, I have given a little tougher mocks. I have given maybe easier mocks, but it was the worst. It was the lowest score, one of the lowest scores I have gotten, and which is a confidence giving factor that my worst is still average. If my worst is average, you know, I just think that my best could be a lot better. And anyways, coming back to our original question, that what changes I saw in myself. Well, one of the changes that I saw in myself is supreme time management. Supreme time management. I think Trimbikesh knows about the time in January when I was handling JE prep. I was handling coaching, like 4, 5, 6 hours of coaching. I was handling website making, and I was also handling an event in school, in which I was a part. Technical team. I love that thing, honestly. I love being in the technical team. It taught me so many things. But about that, some later podcast. But supreme time management, I was able to manage my time and do so many things that I wanted to do. And even, not just that, during that alfresco time, an event that our school hosts, him, me, we were all there and we enjoyed, we studied, and we still made it. That supreme time management that I have seen myself do at times, you know, what a big change. Because before that, yeah, I was doing stuff, I was studying, I was playing, but with not that good time management. I had lapses in time. I was not making the most of my time, but in this preparation, just because I wanted to do my best, that time management, it just came on itself. I was like, okay, I need to do this. I also need to do this. So I'll manage my time. I'll make a schedule. Maybe I'll do this. Okay. And then making elaborate plans and just managing it perfectly. Many times I was not able to, but you know, if I'm able to do it 60% of the time and that time management has inculcated in me, it's a big change. And I think it will reap me so big benefits in time that, I just hope it does. Yeah. So that is from my side in this question.
Go ahead. So, what is one mistake you think you did during your preparation?
So I'll go first this time. So one mistake that I think I
honestly do not have an answer.
okay, so we will skip.
Sarthak, I do not think I have an answer. I would not change anything.
Yeah, see, I would still do the same things, but a mistake is a mistake. And one of the only big mistake that I feel I did was, judging the PYQs. I felt J Advance is not that tough, which is at times a good thing. But when an actual paper came onto me, I was like, okay, I know how to do these questions, but these questions are much tougher than I anticipated. Of course, this year's paper was tough. Toughest it has been, I think, in a while. I feel it's been a lot tough in a while. Last year was very, very easy, but that is one mistake that I feel because I I was not going into an examination with a mindset, okay, that this level of questions will come. But subconsciously, I was like, okay, it should not be that tough. But it was. So that is one mistake that I feel I did during the preparation that costed me probably 10-20 marks. Otherwise, other than that, I feel even though people say JEE Advance is the toughest examination people give, I should not have thought it couldn't be that bad.
So this time was an exception, right? It was probably the hardest paper
No,
I've
no,
ever
no.
made. Right?
2016 was much, much harder. The thing with this, what I feel is even 2022, the cutoffs were pretty low, but that was more so I think because the numericals had negative marking as well. But in this paper one was doable and at the level that I was expecting. Paper two was just. So I feel 2016, both the papers were like paper two, and in this year it was one paper. So yeah, 2016 I would still rank a lot tougher than 2022. But it was an exception. It was an exception, I feel, because I haven't done that tough PYQs of any year other than 2016.
It's all right, bro. I think you deserve much more than just IIT at CS.
Let's see.
Like you're here to do great things. You will do great things.
certainly
You
do
don't
hope
have
so.
to blame yourself for it because the paper is out of your
Yeah.
control, right?
I did all the one thing that was in my favor in this preparation is I did all I could and I'm happy. I did whatever I could, whatever was in my hand. I did it, and other than that, that's just up to God and up to the people who actually make the paper.
I appreciate it.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
I think we are
I think
done.
we are done. I know.
Beautiful episode, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
And it was really a pleasure to be talking about this. I did not think that I would be able to speak so articulately on the go without any preparation. Sarthak knows me. I like my things prepared. I like to rehearse them multiple times before
I
I
have
come
seen
on.
you.
But this is the skill.
That script will live in my mind forever.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we should include this story. I think we should, just for the fun part at the end. I think we should.
Go ahead.
So,
Go ahead.
we had to prepare, actually host a kind of an event in our school as Fresco Socials. So, at the end, what happened was I'm now gone. Okay, I got disconnected. I want him to hear this as well from my point of view. So, what happened was, at the end, it was like only me and him were left, and we had to perform. We were like, okay, I think we both are the people who could do this, who could perform on stage. So we sat in school from 12 noon to 4 p.m. 5:30 was the timing which they gave, where you should come, all dressed up and all. Till 4, we were there preparing a script, and it was epic. I mean, I don't think I have ever written something so funny, yet so on point. That was an experience. It was a banger. It was just a bang. And the intro we delivered so good, both of us. Like, yeah. I mean, that is one memory that will always be in my mind.
It might make sense to just bring in that script sometimes
Yeah,
and perform it live
yeah.
on the podcast.
If people do think about it, we might do. It's a or we might make a short of it. At in different stages. That script is very good.
Yeah, maybe.
Very good. So I
So,
think
Ladies and
we are
gentlemen,
done with this. I know it's not gonna be perfect. Come on, it's our first time. Give us some courtesy. But we did our best, and it came out much better than what I supposed it would come out as. Now I am just now I am just hoping that the editing part does not kill me because
Would probably
yeah,
kill you. And I'm so glad that I don't have to do
and
it.
I'm glad I have to do it because it will at least keep me occupied for so long because I want to publish this next week. Next week, Sunday at 10. That is what I was thinking, 10 a.m. Let's see if I can do it or not. But at least I'm, you know, preparing a benchmark for myself. Well, and before that, I have some other plans as well. So yeah, yeah.
Beautiful.
But I'm excited because this is just the first episode. I was just like, just now I'm thinking that if the first episode could, from my side, from our side, people who are making this could be such banger, I don't know what the next episodes will, you know, just give the excitement, the vibe.
We're only gonna
It's
get
gonna
better.
get bigger, yeah. So with this, signing off, simply lovely. Let's go.